the door, take the leap, and be the dream.
Welcome to the Be the Dream podcast, where you'll find tools to help you gain the motivation to leap into a life you love. Hey everyone, the truth is that I don't know if I'm really fully ready to have this conversation with you yet, but here I go. I'm going to jump in with both feet all the way in, and we're going to do this. So, I just rebranded my show. Like, it's really not been very long. And I was all in. I was so all in to Popular. When I rebranded to Popular, I was really sure that was it forever. Like I was like, this is it. I have been in my brain, what I'm calling in my metaphorical mind, circling the drain, trying to answer the question, where do I belong? Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing and teaching? And, what box do I fit in, right? Has anyone else tried to answer that question before of like, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? How do I fit all of me into the predetermined boxes? So I've been on this journey since I started my podcast and calling it a business, but like, is it a business? Because I'm not really sure what exactly I do for people. And that kind of has gone together, podcast and business, and how do I serve people? And I've done coaching in a number of different ways. Like I've done podcast coaching, and I started out with, I coach burnt out moms, and then I was coaching for podcasting, and I was coaching all sorts of different things. Business coaching and confidence coaching and circling the drain, figuring out all these different pieces of me. And yes, they were authentic to a degree, but like, again, circling the drain as they came closer and closer and closer to the core of who I am. And I've been saying a lot over the last, few months, even years, of like, what's your superpower? And for me, I've been identifying more and more superpowers that I have, more things that I'm really naturally good at, and just owning more pieces of who I am. So that's very much, tied into this journey of like, what's my show called? And why would I change the name of it? Especially when I just adore the name Popular. So let me explain to you like how this happened and what the heck is going on here. I am not the kind of person who just slowly transitions over time. I literally wake up one day and I'm like, oh my gosh, like lightning has struck, and all of a sudden I just know that that's not right anymore. And I can't keep that when it's not right anymore. Like, just all of a sudden, it just feels inauthentic, and I just know. So I was doing this thing where I was like, okay, I need to really focus on my business. I need to figure out what it is I'm doing to serve people, what I really want to coach on, what I really want to speak on. Because this year, one of my big goals is honing, what I speak on stage is about, and what that means for my business, and how I really serve people. And it has been the last Popular was about confidence. It was about loving yourself from the inside out. And that is still true. That is still something I really stand behind. But I had been wavering on my confidence. And I was like, how, and as I've studied confidence, I've come to realize that, everybody who looks really confident, they all struggle with confidence. So that wasn't really the breaking point. I had this realization that I was talking about one of my kids, and it was about how sometimes the things that you think are the very worst about yourself, the thing that you've been hiding from the world for as long as you can remember, the thing that you wish didn't exist about yourself. A lot of times that's your superpower. That's the thing that you really have to come to terms with and own and realize that's what makes you sparkle. That's what makes you unique. That's what you really need to stand behind and start to love. And as I had said that out loud, and I gained so much inspiration by speaking out loud, which is why my whole journey has come through podcasting, because I say things out loud and then I go, oh, I get it now. I have to say it out loud before I get it. So I was saying that to somebody else about how your superpower is often the thing that you're most ashamed of. And I had this, it just kind of clicked into place. The thing I get complimented for the very most, the thing that people ask me about, is my energy. Right. And you're sitting there going, oh yeah, it totally is. Everyone's asking me, since my show was called Seeking Sunshine, they'd be like, Carolee, you are all sunshine. Where do you get, except for, you should always know that the sunshine was never this light, airy, happy-go-lucky. It was a very intense kind of sunshine. I've always been ambitious and dramatic and really intense, too intense, too much, just too much for people. And I get told a lot, to slow down, stop going so fast. I'm overwhelming for people. But at the same time, that's also the thing that gets complimented. So when I give speeches, that's people are like, oh, that energy. Sometimes I get told it's too much and I need to tone it down. I get told that a lot, actually. And so when people would compliment me on my speeches and they would say, I love your energy. You have so much energy. And I go on podcasts and they say, I love your energy. My initial reaction to those compliments was compliment me on something helpful, because that's the thing I hate about myself, right? I've been told since literally since the day I was born, I've gotten the message that I'm too much. I'm too loud. Since the stories about me being born are about how I didn't have a cute little baby cry. I screamed so loud every person in the hospital could hear me. I had a big, huge operatic wail from the moment I was born instead of a cute little baby cry. And yeah, it was kind of painted in a negative light. It's been and whether or not it was intended that way, I'm sure it wasn't. I took it as I'm too much. I'm too loud. I need to be smaller. I need to be less bright. I need to be less intense. I need to be less. That is the message I got. When I was in elementary school, my New Year's resolution was to be shy. I thought for sure if I could make myself be a shy person, that people would like me more. And so when I get compliments on my speeches and on my podcast interviews and people say, I just love your energy, my initial instinctive reaction to that for the last 2+3 years, whatever, has been, stop complimenting me on that. That's a bad thing. And to just write it off. So here I am in 2025, finally realizing that is my superpower. And yeah, it's going to make me cry. So if you're sitting here going, what the heck, Carolee, why would you rebrand again? Just a couple months after rebranding. It's because while popular is amazing, and I adore the whole concept of using your voice and loving who you are And it's still a very big part of me. It just didn't fully capture the energy that is me. The owning who you really are. And this way that I have had my entire life of just being what I want to be and doing what I want to do despite all of the things in the way. So one of the things that's really annoyed everybody around me, from my immediate family and my parents to my husband, my whole life, has been like, when I have obstacles in my way, I do not let them stop me, and I just do what I want to do. Like, I am extremely resilient. I'm extremely stubborn. Stubborn has been a word that has defined me for an extremely long time. And I've taken it as a bad thing, but it's a superpower. So like when I was a kid and I didn't have the clothes that I wanted, I would just go make them. And I didn't have any fabric and I didn't have any money for fabric. And I would go find stuff and I would just go make it myself. That's why I make things to this day. That's why I now teach like how to make things, is because I just learned on my own how to go make things. Because I wanted a new skirt for my first dance, so I just went and made it. I was, 14 years old, and I wanted to dye the fabric because the fabric I had wasn't quite the right color for my Halloween costume. So I went and got food coloring, and I dyed it a different color in my kitchen, and my mom was just livid because I didn't ask permission. I didn't learn how to dye fabric first. I just went and did it. I decided I was a speaker one day, so I just put speaker like in front of my name. I was just like, okay, I put it in my bio. Carolee Garrison is a speaker. I just decided I was a podcaster one day. Like, I just became Toastmasters president with like zero qualifications. I just was the thing I wanted to be. Like, I wasn't a recording artist, and then I just released music and like learned how to do it, and then I did it. So that is, like, I have this internal drive that just people are really intimidated by. Like, really. Like, I intimidate people hardcore. Like, it's I have ambition oozing out of my pores, guys. Like, of all the things. And I am extremely excitable. Like, when I start talking about ambition and drive and, like, going for the thing you freaking want and doing what you love, like, you cannot stop me. I am on freaking fire. When I get up on stage and I am, like, talking about loving yourself and loving yourself so much that you do the thing that you love with your life and doing the things that set you on fire and passions, oh my gosh, like, I have to calm myself down because, again, I've been told a lot of times that I'm a lot, and I'm a bulldozer, and anyways, it's a whole thing. So that's me. And instead of trying to squeeze myself into these boxes of what's appropriate and what I have been thinking, could make money and da-da-da-da-da. Like, oh, a business coach could make money. And, oh, if I taught this, it would be more appropriate and more acceptable in society. I decided to look at me. What am I already good at? What do I do naturally that I've been shoving down for so long? It's that. It's my energy. It's about time that I saw it for what it was instead of hating it. So that's what this is. This new podcast iteration is called Be the Dream. And it's about owning everything you are. It's about that thing you've always wanted to be. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for permission to live your life and just live it now. Stop waiting for permission to call yourself an artist or a singer or a speaker or a doer, and just be it now. Declare yourself that you already are. Yeah, if you need to go learn something, go learn it. Like, do it. Just go do the dang thing. Go live your life, because this is your one life to live. So go do it. Go be it. And I'm going to help motivate you, because I'm a fire starter and I will light a fire under you, and we will do this together. And I'm going to teach you all the things I know about motivation, because I realized that I've actually been studying motivation the whole time. Everything that I've been studying as I've been doing therapy for my kids, I've actually literally been studying ABA for 10 years. Like, actually 10 years I've been studying ABA, and ABA is all motivation. Everything I've been studying on personal development and therapy for my kids, like, it's all motivation. It all comes because that's who I am. Why am I the way that I am when other people are not? Motivation. Why am I so different? Why do I have this internal drive, this ambition, this go, 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 like just nature about me? But like, you know, my husband and kids, I struggle to get them to do stuff. Oh, I have answers for you. I totally have answers for you, because I've been trying to answer this question and succeeding at answering that question. I've been, my oldest is 14, been married for 16 years. What makes me so different from them? I have answers to that question, because again, I've been working on that for 16 years. This is, why am I the way that I am? So will this last forever? I don't know, but it feels like I've circled the drain and finally hit gold. Me. I finally found me. I finally stopped trying to be somebody else, and I finally hit me. And that doesn't mean that all the other iterations were not, authentic. They were just kind of authentic with filters. And it's like I finally have removed all the layers, and I'm finally home. I'm going to try to stop being ashamed of the big energy that I hold, of all that I am, and my excitable, ambitious, driven self is here for this. So I'm going to show you how to be motivated to be everything that you've ever wanted to be, and to live a life you freaking love, because that's what we're here for. We are here to enjoy our lives, to do the things that God has planted in our hearts. Like, that's what this life is for. I'm so here for it. It's what sets my heart on fire. And I want to ignite that passion in you too, because it is what makes me so happy. That it's everything. It's just everything. It's time for us to change how we perceive what we do every day, because it's not about the actions. The actions are driven by the passion. It's about who we are. So, are you ready to jump on board and start being the person that you were always meant to be? It starts with figuring out what your superpowers are. Look to your childhood. Look at those things that people compliment you on that you immediately dismiss because you think that they're not good enough, because you think that there's something wrong with you. You're incredible. Own those superpowers. Own who you are. Own your glorious, big, ambitious nature, if that's who you are. Own the things that make you unique. We've been hiding for way too long, and it's just time. It's time we stepped into our power. It's time we figured out who we really are. And the truth is that we actually always knew. Deep down inside, we know who we are, but we've been afraid of that power for way too long. Enough's enough. Let's own our power. Let's do it. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Be the Dream podcast. In the show notes, you're going to find links about how to be a guest on the show, how to find my website, and anything special I have going on at the moment. Please share this with a friend. Let them know that you're thinking about them, and let's share inspiration with as many people as we can, because we can all use a little more motivation in our lives. See you next time. And until then, remember that being the dream is not about what you do, but about who you are.